This is the Jug O Sip podcast. She immediately turned to that abandonment and pain and bribed her son to love her by saying she was going to go buy him toys and stuff and just starting the cycle of spoiling him and encouraging his behavior all over again.
Once again, this is a Jungian moment for us.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
because everything I say is Jungian. I don't even know sometimes.
The Devouring Mother is an archetype, and for those who know Carl Jung, the concept of archetypes was something that I don't think he invented it necessarily, but
he spoke a lot about.
Yeah, he kind of claimed it.
I don't think he invented it, but he definitely worked with it a lot.
Yeah, he claimed it and used it as a way to explain specific categories of human behavior and like personality patterns. And the Devouring Mother was one of those archetypes. Let's go into a little bit more what that even is, because you know, I don't know if we necessarily had Devouring Mother situations or even knew of anybody that did, but maybe we did. Let's
I think you did, from what I know.
Well, let me think about it. I mean, my mom was, I mean, she has had mental illnesses her whole life, and throughout my childhood, she was not an easy person to live around. She was abusive to me and all five of my siblings. She tried to make
you codependent, though. That's what I'm speaking of specifically.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. So I'll go into that. So basically, when I was younger, I very much wanted to be an independent person. And I wasn't the kind of kid that wanted to, like, you know, run the streets or anything like that. Especially not in Harlem, because, you know, Harlem at the time, it was still very much a hood in the worst possible ways you can imagine before gentrification. But I was the kind of kid that liked being out. Oh, excuse me. I liked being outside. I liked athletics.
You liked having the option to leave if you wanted.
Yeah, I liked exploring. I had a sense of adventure. My mom, on the other hand, did not want me to leave the house. She didn't want me. She wanted to shelter me, and that's what she did. She forced me to stay in the house all the time.
She also never taught you how to cook or do anything for yourself, even proper.
Well, hold on, I was getting to that, but yeah, it was pretty much that. Like she kept me in the house all the time, and then she didn't teach me certain things like cooking, or you know, like I had to learn to do laundry on my own because I basically had to tell her one day to stop doing my laundry. Like I got into an argument with her over it because after a certain point, it all felt like these systems of control. There was even a point where I was in senior year of high school and I was fighting for years to just get a job at a GameStop or something just before the recession hit, back when getting entry-level jobs like that were a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And she refused to give me like the paperwork or you know, because at the time I was too young, so I needed like working papers that she needed to sign. She refused to participate in any of that. She didn't want me to have a job. She didn't want me to go to college. One day I finally asked her, what was her problem? Like, why didn't she want me to do anything? Her answer was at the time her answer was she was afraid of getting old. And the only reason she agreed to having me with my dad is because she had me when she was approaching middle age. She figured that she would have somebody young to take care of her because at the time she was afraid of getting old.
So yeah,
which she aged very well. So and she acknowledged that. She was like, I aged well, so it's fine. But nevertheless, that was still very disturbing for me because what my mom didn't know is that her actions were basically robbing me of a future.
And a devouring mother will have a child for the wrong reasons, for selfish reasons, to have a companion, to have a friend, to fill the void of an abandoned husband or partner. Whatever reason that they don't feel complete, a lot of people will have children to feel complete. And then once they have the children, we'll find out, obviously, this small person cannot have that kind of responsibility on you. And they cannot complete you because only we can complete ourselves. But then they're stuck with this kid that they had because they needed to feel complete. So they just spend the entire time trying to either turn this kid into a little them or trying to keep them around so they have companionship, even if it's against their will. In fact, you know what?
Yeah.
My old friend JC, her mom was a devouring mother.
Oh, yeah. Go into that.
Well, this friend and I we don't speak anymore, but because it's kind of a personal thing.
You can find us on Google and all social media at Jug O Sip Podcast.
New episodes release every Monday and Friday.